Greetings, beautiful earthlings. My name is Star. If you are new here, I don't know how you found me, but I am super glad you did. And if you are returning, y'all, the real MVP, you already know. Today I have another deck review for you guys, and this one was actually super unexpected. I am so excited for this. So this is another gift from my wish list. So as you guys know, I have had this tarot and oracle wish list put together for quite a while on Amazon, so that if you guys ever want me to review a deck, you can send it to me and I will definitely review it for you guys. So this one was actually gifted to me by my friend Heidi, and I am so excited for this one. I actually never looked at this deck, to be completely honest, and I had found it through the Alice in Wonderland Oracle deck. I put that one on my wish list and it was in the recommended, and I was like, that looks pretty cool, and I put it on there and I never took a second look at it. But I am so excited that Heidi sent this to me because this is beautiful. I have never ever looked at this deck until I had it in my hands. So what we are talking about today, is the Shadows of Oracle of Shadows and Light. See, I keep saying Shadows of Light, and that's not right. The Oracle of Shadows and Light. So, as always, I will put the link to where you guys can find this on Amazon in the description box for you guys, as well as my walkthrough. So I did do a quick little walkthrough so that you guys can see every single card, and they are very beautiful. And I am so stoked to get into this deck. You guys have no idea how hard it's been for me not to shuffle these. Like, I've been trying so hard not to. So here's how this box looks. As you guys can tell, this is a very big box. This is a Lucy Cavendish deck. And she did do, I believe, the Oracle of the Mermaids is the Lucy Cavendish deck that I have. So it's really cool to see the opposite side of Lucy Cavendish, where the Oracle of the Mermaids is this beautiful painting-like pictures, and then you have these little manga-looking cartoon character things. So here's your back. Words. And then when you open it, pops open like this. There's this beautiful gold color on the inside, and here we have our book. So I did not go through the book in the walkthrough because I do like to make those just about the cards. So let's go ahead and take a look at the book here. As you guys can see, it's not a very big book, right? And that's because there's actually not much in here. So let's see, at the beginning part, I really love this. She's got a little note in here about wisdom for misfits, mystics, seekers, and wanderers. So I think it's really cute. This deck is kind of aimed at weirdos, and I'm a weirdo. I'm sure you're a weirdo because you're here and you're watching this video. You want to know about this deck. So I think that's really cute. She did add a lot of really fun characters in here, like fairies, mermaids, angels, I don't want to say like angels and demons, but you know, just along those lines. At first I had said like vampires and witches, so there's no vampires in here. When you guys check out that walkthrough, you will see all of the characters in its entirety, the entire deck, of course. But I really love reading through this beginning part. So she said, "Welcome to the world of world and beings of shadows and light." And then, who said strange was a bad thing? The danger of endless light, the beauty of the shadows. This is such a fun read, this beginning part. I was really stoked on it. So she does talk about the beings in here and kind of the quick little history of these beings, or at least the history of why she put them in here. So it says ghosts, mermaids, ancients, fairies, witches, angels, entities, and historic beings. So that's more accurate than what I said. And then, of course, there's the purpose of the oracle. She does have a lot of information in this beginning part. There's how to approach the oracle. There is the difference between an oracle and a tarot deck. There is how to conduct a reading. Of course, we've got tons of spreads, and there's like way more spreads than I'm used to for oracle decks in here. Tons and tons of spreads. Tons of in-depth stuff on these spreads. Another spread. There's so much in here. And then this tells you about when cards jump out, can I read for others with this deck, how often to read for yourself. There was a lot of information in here, and it seems like she wanted this to be a very instructional little booklet for like maybe a brand new beginner picking up this deck. So I really appreciate that. And here's what your cards look like. So there's your little picture of the person. There is the name of the card, there's your little keywords, and then you've got about the card, as well as the little person speaking from the card and the divination message. So that's really interesting that there's kind of like 3 different ways to interpret that card, and that is how it looks for all of them across the board. And then I'm sure there's about the author, yeah, about the artist, about the author at the end. So who is this artist? Oh, this is Jasmine Beckett Griffith. Okay, so that's probably why this looks way different than the Oracle of the Mermaids. I have just realized that recently, that on tarot and oracle decks there is an artist and there is an author. So that's why I try to really read through the book. I'm sure not many of us know things like that. But here is what it looks like inside the box. We have this beautiful gold color again, and here is the back of the cards. So as you guys can see, these are very high gloss cards, and I'm actually extremely surprised at how thin this cardstock is. This is probably the same as the knockoff decks, to be honest. This is a lot thinner than the Game of Thrones. This is a lot thinner than like the Lightseers. This is the thinnest of all of the cardstocks I've ever had, and this is probably like an actual index card. I think I said that on like the Game of Thrones or something, where I was like, it's about an index card. This is an actual index card. Like this one, you probably can't even shuffle the way I shuffle cards. You gotta be real careful with these ones. And I think that's why they are glossy, is so that you don't really mess them up, because it's gonna be real easy to mess these ones up. So I want to say that for the sake of the review. I don't personally care, it doesn't bother me any, because I still love this deck very much, but just for you guys that are in the market for this deck, please understand this is the thinnest cardstock of all of the decks I've ever gotten, and I do have a little over 20 decks. There's so much noise today. So these decks do have numbers at the top, and I do believe that that is the order they are in the book. Kind of makes sense. So as you guys can see, you've got your little picture, you got your little name here in that writing, and then you've got your little keyword down there. So these can be read intuitively with just the keywords. You can look into the book and see all of the meanings. I love how different these characters are, and I don't mean different from normal pictures, I mean different from each other in the deck. It's really hard to like show you too, because they're so glossy. Like some of these are so dark and beautiful, and some of these are just so light. Some of them are so like Tim Burton. Like these are just such different cards from each other, and I love that so much. I love that they're not all like the same looking character. Look at that. That's one of my favorite ones in this deck. Like these are so cool, and I think this was a super fun collab. I know I try not to go through all of these cards, but I feel like there's just no way you guys can get an understanding of how different all these characters are from each other. And this is going to make for a very interesting read. I can already tell, because they're so different from each other. All of them are. And I've looked through this deck quite a few times, and I still don't know which of these are my favorite because they're just amazing. They're so beautiful. They're so colorful. Like the colorful ones are so colorful, and then the super dark ones are super dark. Like they really made it shadows and light, and this was beautifully done for a deck. So I'm very grateful to Heidi to have gifted this to me, and I'm gonna get tons of use out of it. So I really hope if you guys are in the market for this deck, you definitely check it out. It is a super fun oracle deck, and I do have probably about as many oracle decks as I do tarot decks now, and I know at one point it was a little off balance. I had way more tarot than oracle decks, but it's a lot more fun to have oracle decks to be able to choose from. Especially as a reader who does tons of readings, you need to be able to have the option to kind of flow with your client. So like if you're doing YouTube readings, clearly a lot of decks are going to help for those pick a cards for different vibes, what have you. But if you're just doing readings on your own outside for personal clients, I think it is a fantastic idea to have tons and tons of oracle decks to appeal to different people. And usually I don't let the client pick the oracle deck, I let them choose the tarot deck, but I pick the oracle deck based off of what I hear they need at the time, as well as the vibe I am getting from them, whoever I feel they need guidance from. So I really love having this super fun little deck with tons of characters. I can't wait to see the kinds of readings that this produces. So if you guys made it to the end, please give me a big thumbs up. If you didn't like this video, that's cool. Thumbs down. You don't have to like my video. Say whatever you want in the comments, because y'all do anyway. And don't forget to check out my Etsy link in the description box if you would like to get a Greetings Beautiful Earthlings sticker to help support the channel. You guys already know it comes with 2 fun random stickers, and it is my first little mini merch launch for the channel, so I'm super stoked on that. I promise you guys I've got tons more ideas for merch in the works. Just a little strapped for cash at the moment, but once I get some kind of cash flow, I will definitely start making quite a few new projects, because I've got like a whole shop put together on Amazon already, and I am just waiting for the funds. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you have a beautiful, wonderful day wherever you are when this video reaches you, my friends, and I can't wait to see you in the next one. Namaste.